Today's lesson is on dividing integers. The nice thing about dividing integers is you can use the same rules for multiplying integers to determine what sign you have. So if you see up here, I did put a tic-tac-toe chart, and it's a quick way to remember what the product or the quotient is of a multiplication or division by looking at the signs. So when you do tic-tac-toe, your objective is to get 3 in a row. So I always say put your pluses, pluses, pluses. And then everything else gets filled in with a negative sign. So negative, 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 negative. The way you read this is a positive divided by a negative equals a negative. And then if you had a negative divided by a positive, that's going to equal a negative. And likewise, a negative divided by a negative equals a positive. So it's going to tell you your answer every single time. So, and it works for multiplication as well. So this here is your value divided by value equals that sign. So a positive divided by a negative is going to give you that negative. So the next thing that you have to do is just simply follow your own rules that you just said. So if you have, like in number 1 here, negative 72 divided by 9, well, I know 72 divided by 9 is 8. And then I can go look at this and I can say, all right, a negative divided by a positive equals a negative. So I know my answer is negative 8. So then in the next one, you just simply take a look at 88 and 11 and divide 88 divided by 11, and happens to be 8 again. And you say, okay, so a negative divided by a negative, that's going to equal a positive. So we're going to leave it as positive 8. In this next one here, I see it's a positive divided by a negative. So positive divided by a negative equals a negative. So now my answer is going to be negative, but we actually have 2 divided by 4. And a lot of kids seem to think that that answer is 2. But when you are dividing and you're saying, I want to do 2 divided by 4, you can also write it like this as a fraction. So 2 divided by 4. And you're going to see that's not 2. If you look at it as a fraction in its fractions stage here, it's actually the answer to 1/2. So here, when you have 2 divided by negative 4, you're going to get negative 1/2. The next two that we want to take a look at are our zero properties. And if you have a problem that says this, I'm going to take 0 divided by, since I seem to like 8, negative 8. So this is saying to you, I want to take 0 things, break them up into 8 different groups. So how much is going to be in those 8 groups? Well, 0. There's going to be nothing in all of those. So let's switch it around and just say negative 8 divided by 0. So I want to take 8 things and divide them up into 0 groups, or 0 things in each group. That is impossible because you can't take something and make nothing out of it. So when we look at this and you're trying to divide a value by 0, the term that you need to use is undefined. Because you cannot take something and break it up into nothing. You always have something in your hands. So dividing integers, just like multiplying integers, you can just follow those rules and then you just divide like you normally would divide. Just watch out for your zeros, and remember 0 divided by any value is 0, but a value divided by 0 is considered undefined.